Da-da-da! What's my good chair? Welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple of minutes to get those notifications out. In the meantime, if you've never popped into one of my lives before, hi, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside. And this week we got the word commitment. Last night I came in, I haven't watched it yet. And those are the ones that I should watch because I was so exhausted, so done with my set of days off by the end of last night, knowing I still had to come in and do a live. And you know how I just said that? I had to come in and do a live. It's about wanting to come in, it's about sharing, right? These stories, these adventures, these experiences that I have, hoping and optimistic that somebody might find something that they relate to in that experience, and maybe some way that I've dealt with it, or a story I heard along the way, or an experience I had, or just in the pursuits of what I'm going after, that all of these can be examples for people. And I show up every day. I have been on YouTube going on 10 years this fall. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yes, excited because that's only an indicator of how far I've come along, right? Showing up here, the reward that I've gotten for myself, showing up here is a reward that I'm letting reward, that I'm sending it off into the world. And hello, Andrew. Thank you for popping in. We got this word commitment. And maybe, you'll get something out of this today too, or you might have something you want to contribute to the conversation, Andrew. It's just going to be a short one today, 15 minutes or so, because I am starting my work week in the job that puts the roof over my head. And I do my very best at shutting down those other parts of me and reminding myself that I am human, and making sure that that human is getting its full attention to what it's need and what it's supposed to be paying attention to out there. I am a human being. Life is what happens to us while we're making other plans, and oh boy, am I making some plans. But we'll share that as we move forward. This week we got this word commitment, so I thought I'd carry on a little bit from what I'm thinking. Not so much yesterday because I haven't taken in that lesson myself that I put out there to the world yesterday, but most definitely on my way to work. Right, I'll be paying attention. Right, it's going to be painful, but that's the thing. When you feel that uncomfortableness, when you feel that nervousness, you feel that off, that's something to pay attention to. And in that connection that I have with myself, it's in that commitment. It's in that commitment, in that creation of the best human being I possibly can. I am not perfect. I don't even suspect that I can attempt or achieve to such a pursuit. But that doesn't mean that I'm not worth investing in. And in this moment, I'm investing in myself, and I've been investing in myself now for years. And there have been rewards to that, right? At the same time, there have been difficulties. And one of those difficulties is that, you know, that commitment to myself that I didn't realize that was an option in all truth. I pretty much felt like a afterthought for the most part of my life. And I woke up grateful that I woke up to some new ideas. But one of those ideas was being committed to myself, not to treat myself how others may have treated me, or how I may perceived others in treating me. Because sometimes when we feel things and experience things and have those hard conversations, right? That's not comfortable. That's not something that we want in our lives, and for the most part will put it away for another day. We'll ignore it, right? Sometimes we'll push it out of our lives completely, right? And so I'm taking responsibility for what I didn't notice, right? But also at the same time, now that I notice. I can't unexperience what I experience, and I can't unknow what I know. And I know I matter, right? And Cindy has struggled in her limitations throughout her life. And, I have to show up for myself. I have to be committed to myself. My whole life, I've been committed to others. And a big part of this experience, when I want to be committed to others, I want to be committed to a cause, I want to be committed to my brand. Above all else, the most important thing is that commitment to myself, right? It's why I give myself this amazing vacation every September, right? It's to show myself that I am committed, even if I don't accomplish any movement forward, if I don't achieve my goals, my dreams, my ambitions in any way, even if I don't feel, right, that I've contributed, right, that I've made an impact, I'm still going to treat myself like I matter, because when I treat myself like I matter, that heaviness comes off of me, right? That that no matter what sets in, that never give up sets in, that never too late sets in, and that nervousness and that uncomfortableness and that excitement, right, sets in. It's those combinations that we follow when they're all mixed in together. That's what we're supposed to be following, right? When you want something, but you're not brave enough, you can't drum up the courage, you can't bring yourself down to that level, right? Right? Sometimes it's just too terrifying, right? I get it. I'm highly sensitive. I'm very sensitive. I get it. But we don't make any movement unless we step out of ourselves. And because we've been taught all our life, right, that we didn't matter, we have to commit to that one thing, right, to make us understand, make us feel that we do matter. Because when we feel like we matter, when we feel like we have something contribute, there are no ceilings. There are no limits to what we can accomplish. And that is a truth. I've seen the evidence in my own life, and part of putting this trip together is the evidence that it can be done. I work part-time in a little thrift store, and I'm creating the best human that I possibly can. And I'm treating myself like I matter. And I'm taking in the lessons, and I'm making those improvements in partnership with myself, right? In that commitment to myself, to that understanding that, I have to do it for myself. But that doesn't mean that, right, those gifts of kindnesses don't come across our paths. They most definitely do. They most definitely do. And it's not like those lessons don't come across our paths. They're constantly come across our paths. But just like me not watching my live last night, right? I was so excited. I came in, I got the job done. But how well of a job I did, I don't know. I was pretty exhausted at the end of the night. But here I am still. It's 1:30 in the afternoon, and I still have not taken in that lesson. Why? Because it could be painful, right? Because I don't believe that I put my whole heart into it. And because I recognize that, right, some of those, right, guilt and shame, they come to the surface. But because I was making myself understand that I matter, that I was contributing to that pool of goodness for myself, that I exhausted myself in doing something that truly it needed to be done. And in my procrastination and in those, right, I'm not perfect, that I could have chosen something else, could have taken in my metal detecting videos. I didn't even have the computer on at all yesterday. I didn't take any lessons. I came in and did a thumbnail because I even didn't even do the thumbnail. I didn't even want to go into that video today. But right, I still have this thumbnail to do when I get home. So I want to make sure at the very least that last night's is done, just in case somebody, right, is waiting for it and recognizes all my fonts and stuff in their thumbnails. And because there are no colorful fonts, it just passes right by, like I said, right? These are always coming across our paths, just a matter of are we paying attention to it, right? And at that moment, if we catch our attention, sometimes we get a lesson. Sometimes we have an opportunity to delve a little bit deeper. Sometimes we're able to really get hungry for it and get the answers that we're looking for. And this is what started all of this, and this is what carries me forward, right? And I'm neither religious nor spiritual, even though I understand this is its own category, right? I understood where I was going with this. But that's the thing. Sometimes you know where you're going, you know that end goal, but you don't know from one moment to the next unless you make those moments, right? And that only happened because I committed to myself, that I decided, right, that I needed to be more of a student. And I'm grateful for the mentorship and the teachers and the conversations and the experiences and the rewards that come into my life, because it is all evidence and it's all an opportunity to make a little bit of movement. And only in that compounding that idea, right? That if I commit to myself, and I make a little bit of movement, that will be the evidence for somebody else to pick up their own baton and make their own movement, right? But isn't it wonderful that we can kind of move along together a little bit? It shows that we're ready to come out outside of ourselves. You know what I mean? We're still committed. We're still in that partnership. But at the same time, we're showing up, right? In those creations of the best human being that we currently are, right? With those plans and those desires to make that final destination a little bit different. And what that looks like, I have no idea, but I'm carrying on. I'm committed to that, right? Right? And I'm committed to that because those other parts are me committed to that. It's in that excitement, that nervousness, that scary, right? That frustration and hard work, and that knowing that it can be done, right? That keeps you moving forward, keeps you moving in to the next lesson, to the next, right, thing that we can become committed to, because we understand in that scary, in that nervousness, in that excitement, that's the combination that makes things start moving. Or should. But sometimes, like I said, in the scariness of it, right, we can procrastinate or not even let ourselves try. And that's not a good commitment to ourselves, is it? Right? We have to get ourselves to that stage where we can actually make some of these movements. And in doing baby steps, because that's how I move in baby steps, we get the job done. Okay, you guys, that's my good cheer. I've got a bus to catch. I'm starting the job that puts the roof over my head. Grateful for that job. Super, super grateful for that job. I'm getting an air conditioner this weekend. We've been a few days without an air conditioner, so I'm going to say grateful that it hasn't been super hot, right? That we are not struggling too bad. And by the end of the weekend, by the end of the weekend, we're going to forget that there was even a problem, right? And we'll just be into or on to the next problem. People think of sensitivity as a weakness, but I heard someone refer to sensitivity as a gift, and it's a wonderful gift through pain can often come with it, right? But that's the thing, right? What's that saying? Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? You have to put in that effort. Believe me, I understand. It hasn't been easy, but it has been exciting. It has been fun. It has been insightful, and it has had a lot of movement towards, I don't know, something in the creation of the best human being ever. I'm optimistic in that. You guys have a great day. See you.